Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Didier Drogba, Karim Benzema, Gonzalo Higuain, and now Dusan Vlahovic. Yet another striker Arsenal have missed out on, but this time round we cannot afford to dwell on it. Top 4. One of the main reasons Vlahovic didn't join Arsenal was because we are currently not in the elite of football, not in the Champions League, and we need to make that right. No dwelling on Vlahovic, get some signings done. Mikel Arteta is currently in USA doing meetings with Stan Kroenke, and he needs to tell him with around 5 days to go, we definitely need strikers.
Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Arsenal. I know how you feel, just like I feel. A terrible January for Arsenal fans in terms of results and in terms of the transfer window. The players we are linked to, all of them seem to be joining other teams, but there's still a couple of players out there. So between these two strikers to my left, Alexander Isak and Dominic Calvert Lewin, we will be talking about them, the latest news on both of them. I'll try and compare both of them in terms of strengths and weaknesses. Which one is better? Which one would you want at Arsenal? Let me know, and let's get straight into it.
First up, Alex Isak. Earlier this month, Barcelona attempted to sign the Swedish striker, but Real Sociedad quickly put a block on that move, and apparently Arsenal were left as favourites to sign the striker. But since then, Arsenal have been focused on Dusan Vlahovic, but with the Serbian striker moving to Juventus, Arsenal could now turn their focus on Alex Isak. The first question when it comes to transfers is usually about the fee. According to the Athletic UK, as tweeted by AFC staff, and I quote, "The release clause in Isak's contract is understood to be substantially higher than what Arsenal paid for Thomas Partey. Arsenal would seek to negotiate a more reasonable fee, something Real Sociedad may be unwilling to consider right now." So Real Sociedad in this January transfer window have no time in terms of hearing about negotiations unless you're straight up paying the release clause. That is the first problem, but there is another major issue, and that is we are looking for goals, and Alex Isak hasn't been scoring any goals for the last few months. According to Who Scored, Alex Isak has only scored in one of 9 appearances in La Liga since the end of October. So only 1 goal in 9 appearances. That is like around 4 months. We need a striker who will fire us right away because there's only less than 20 games remaining in the Premier League, so there's no time to adapt. Yes, it might be a problem with only this season because in last year's campaign, he had 17 goals and 2 assists in 34 games, but we need the impact right away. At the end, I'll try to compare him with Calvert Lewin to see which one is better in what aspects. You need to stick on for that and make sure to hit the like button as we go on to the second striker, Calvert Lewin. Second up, as already mentioned, is Everton's Dominic Calvert Lewin. Now, another striker we have been linked to since the summer transfer window, but to be fair, no Arsenal fan would have expected us to get him through the door back in August. Aubameyang was still an Arsenal striker. He's out of favour now. Lacazette still had a year to play at Arsenal, and Nketiah was still at Arsenal, so I don't think any of us expected him to join. But now with all those players falling out of favour, some about to leave, we are now more desperate. Calvert-Lewin has only played 6 games this season, and that has been because of different injuries. And in that time, he has managed only 3 goals. Now, that could be a problem with this season only. Last season, he played 33 games. The season before that, 36. Season before that, 35. And in 2017-2018, he played 32 games. Last season, he scored 16 goals. The previous season, 13 goals and 10 goals in total in the previous 2 seasons. The one issue we could have with him is that in last season's Premier League campaign, he only had 0 assists. Not even only, he literally had 0 assists. So in terms of what you're trying to do to combine the striker with the midfielders the likes of Saka, Smith Rowe, Martinelli, Odegaard, he is not good in terms of creativity and playing 1-2s in the box and assisting other players like Giroud would a couple of years ago, like Lacazette combines play with the midfielders these days and gets a couple of assists. Calvert-Lewin had 0 assists last season, and he only had 1 before that, and he had 2 before that and 6 before that. So that could be the first issue with Calvert-Lewin alongside the injury problems. So how likely is it that CALVERT LEWIN will join Arsenal? So again, Athletic UK as tweeted by AFC staff, and I quote, "The prospect of joining Arsenal would appeal to DCL. The club are a good fit for his ambitions. CALVERT LEWIN is much admired by the coaching staff at Arsenal, who have proved influential in previous recruitment decisions." So it is like a 60% we could sign him, 40% we might not sign him. But for me, it depends on the coaching issue at Everton. If they stay on with Duncan Ferguson until the end of the season, he could decide to leave right now. He could decide to leave at the end of the season. With that said though, he did have a good spell under Duncan Ferguson, who really understands him as an Everton fan. But for me, if someone like Wayne Rooney joins right now, I don't think CALVERT LEWIN would leave. He will convince them to stay. He will convince some of the players like Richarlison to stay, so he wouldn't leave. But if Everton stay without a manager until after the transfer window, it might be a possibility. And is this a player you would want at Arsenal despite the injuries this season, despite the lack of assists? Yes, he has goals. Yes, he has Premier League experience. But would you get him with that said? So, Isak or CALVERT LEWIN? We have been linked to several strikers, but it could come down to these two. The stories are still emerging. The rumors are still out there. We've not had anything from Jonathan David, really. We've not had a lot from Jovic, really. So it's down to these two. So if we try to compare them, what are the strengths of Isak and CALVERT LEWIN? Starting with the strengths of Alex Isak. Now, I know I just said that he scored 1 goal since October, but before then he used to score goals, which he can recover. He can start scoring goals again, and hopefully if we do sign him, he does get those goals. So one of his strengths is scoring goals. Number 2 is that he is very good at direct free kicks. Now, the funny thing with Arsenal, the last 2 seasons we've seen Pepe scoring free kicks, Aubameyang scoring, Lacazette scoring from free kicks, Odegaard as well, Xhaka, but it's not consistent enough. So if you can get someone who's very consistent, if Isak is consistent at free kicks, we will definitely need that. And number 3 is his dribbling. He's quite good at dribbling, so he can get past a couple of players, which we need. In terms of DCL strengths, his heading ability is very, very good. He can score from a lot of headers, from corners, from free kicks. He always wins his aerial duels. So up against the likes of Van Dijk, up against the likes of Rudiger, up against the likes of Lewis Dunk, he can help us in that. And obviously, just like Isak, his finishing is quite good as well. In terms of weakness, Isak is not that good in terms of aerial duels compared to CALVERT LEWIN, and his defensive contributions are not that great as well. For DCL, his passing is not that great, and his hold-up play is not like Lacazette's and those kind of players we've had over the years. So there is a couple of strengths and there is a couple of weaknesses for both players. Obviously, CALVERT LEWIN is more Premier League experienced. Isak is not yet Premier League experienced. Isak is 22, CALVERT LEWIN is 24, so Isak has the better in terms of what we're looking in terms of age. So a lot of comparisons.
So Alexander Isak or CALVERT LEWIN, which one would you guys prefer? Comment down below. Do you think we will sign any of them, or do you think we'll go for any other alternatives? Let me know, but hopefully we get at least one of them through the door, because we really need it. Thank you for watching. Keep staying safe, and I'll definitely catch up with you guys on the next one.